everybody, it's Kelly, and I'm back with a new layout for you today. And little backstory, I'm doing a photograph of some friends and I doing yoga outside, and I'll explain a little bit more. But we were in the woods, and I thought of that tree paper immediately when I saw this photo. And so I'm going to combine it with some really unusual things though that I would never have thought worked together until I actually put them together and they work. So I'm going to start with that floral paper. That floral paper is from Pebbles Lakeside, and it is the picnic paper. And I'm just mounting that on a piece of Amy Tangerine grid paper. And I don't have the collection for that. I bought like a large pack of it at Tuesday morning, I believe. And then I'm going to take the photograph and mount it on that pink paper as well. And the reason behind all that pink is because my yoga mat is right there in front, and it's that bright pink. So I chose that the floral paper because it does have pink flowers in it. So that ties it together, because when I just put the photograph on the tree paper, and that's the tree paper right there from Pebbles Lakeside, and that paper is called Summer Camp, it didn't work very well because because of all the pink and the green from the photograph kind of blended in. So once I thought about, well, let me think about using that pink from my yoga mat, it just worked really, really well. So that was a lot of the word pink in there. But anyway, so then next I am going to use a journaling card from the cut apart sheet for this collection. It's the Pebbles Lakeside collection again, and it's postcards. And this is really more of a lake and camping collection, but it works really well for the woods in northern Wisconsin, where I happen to be visiting during this particular session. And so from June of 2017 through May 31st of 2018, I'm going to be doing yoga every day. When I'm voicing this over, we're on day 237, and I have not missed a day of doing yoga every day. That does not mean I do an hour of yoga every day. It just means I do yoga in some form or another, at least 7 minutes. That's kind of my threshold. And because I do a little bedtime yoga thing sometimes when it's been kind of a long day. Anyway, that's a lot of explanation. So I didn't like the icon that was on the left of the postcard. I really just wanted the pink to sort of blend that all in. So I'm just going to tuck that behind the photo. And then I'm going to the sticker sheet for Pebbles Lakeside. They're called accent stickers. And I found that acorn to put like on where the postage stamp would go. And then I also was in my Pebbles stash, obviously, because I'm using Lakeside, and I found that fun chipboard, which is from the Pebbles Summer Days collection, and it's the chipboard stickers, and I really liked that, so I'm going to add that in here. And then I also like that kind of little doily, and that's a feather. The green piece by the fun is a feather, so I'm going to add those pieces all in. And I like how they bring in sort of the nature element. I wanted the green to be in that cluster, so that's why I used the feather. And then I went to my American Crafts hashtag sticker book, and this is the Chamel sticker book. You can get those at Hobby Lobby for sure. I know that because that's where I bought mine. And I pulled that so cool little circle there because it's kind of the olivey green that's in this particular layout. So the other thing I did by tucking that card behind the photograph there is that I gave myself some space to the side of both the photograph and the card, so you can see the little background border strip that I used. And I forgot to tell you what the border strip was from. That border sticker is from October Afternoon Travel Girl, the border stickers, and you can barely see it peeking out there once I get this layout down, but it's there, and I know it's there. So I think I've used 4 different vendors on this. I used Pebbles, October Afternoon, the American Crafts Chamel. I'm trying to think. I thought there was one. Oh, and the October Afternoon letter stickers, and I'm going to use some October Afternoon mini letter stickers and the border sticker. So lots of things. Now I just decided to move that chipboard and the doily and the feather over to the left there, kind of like between the postcard and the photograph. And it's because otherwise all the weight was to the right side of this particular layout, at least at the moment it was, because the fun piece was right under that where the acorn was going. So now I combined that another acorn from the stickers from the Lakeside collection with the So Cool sticker from the Schmel collection. And I'm going to just add a little bit of foam adhesive behind the smaller acorn just to give it some dimension, because the chipboard has some dimension. Then at the top, I'm going to put in a third cluster. I'm going to use a flower from the Lakeside Accent sticker, another acorn, and then a little banner journaling piece from the hashtag sticker book, the Schmel sticker book. And then I decided I wanted some brown up in there because there's brown in the acorns, and it just felt like it needed a little bit of a darker element up there, like that cluster was getting lost. So once I do that, that really does a nice job of grounding that, and that wood piece is from the Lakeside accent stickers again. All right, so then again, I want some dimension up in this cluster, so I'm just going to add some of my foam tape behind that. And that gives me another little spot to journal on. Not that I really have to have one because I have so much space to journal on this particular layout. So now I'm kind of looking around and what else, trying to figure out what else I want to add. And I wanted that cluster, like I wanted another element in that cluster. So I found this butterfly from the Lakeside Accent stickers, and I'm going to put that at the top. So that gets me kind of another color besides the acorn and the brown from the acorn and the green. And that's kind of what I'm doing now, is I'm looking at the clusters and going, okay, what am I missing from this particular cluster color that I have in the other one? In the bottom cluster there, it was the brown. So now I'm showing you that I've got the brown in all three of those clusters. And I'm just looking again, just looking at each cluster, trying to figure it out, because I feel like I'm missing something in the other two clusters now. So in the top cluster, it was some green. So I'm going to add just a little phrase there that says amazing. And then I'm looking at that cluster on the right, tapping it for you to let you know I'm thinking about what I'm going to put there. That also helps cue me when I'm doing these voiceovers that I was thinking about something. So it's a little trick I use. So I'm looking at what do I use here, and the unicorns weren't doing it for me, and just kind of flipping through here. There's so many stickers, I have lots of choices here. And then I looked at the accent stickers again, and I found this little pink flower. And that's the thing I was missing in that cluster, is I was missing a little bit of pink in that cluster. So every cluster now has the color. Now, the butterfly is not exactly, it's a little yellowy. It's more orangey, but now we've got kind of that yellow and orange going on in each cluster, and we've got the brown, and then we have the pink and the green. So even though those clusters have nothing in common right now, I do get a pine cone, and I can't tell if it's already on there for this one, I'm sorry, but I'm going to put a pine cone if I haven't already in that top cluster up there. So you don't have to replicate your clusters exactly, but commonalities like one element, like the sort of naturey pine cone acorn thing, and or the color in this particular case is what unifies them all. And they're really all nature elements. Now I'm looking for an alpha to use, and I went on a bit of a little hunt here because I was thinking I wanted to use navy because there's some navy flowers in this background, but I couldn't get the right navy. It was either too purple or too blue, but not, most of it was actually the purple. The navy on that floral paper is kind of purpley. So everything was too blue. And then I came across these glitter foam letters, or alpha, which is by Amy Tangerine. It's the other half alpha in the aqua color. And they are a very bright aqua color. Now that exact color does not appear anywhere except in the photograph here. And one of my friends is putting out a towel in the color. I have a towel laying on my yoga mat in that color. And one of my friends is sitting on a yoga mat in that color. So it's really blending very well. And I was going to make the title Yoga in the Woods just as it is, but I was going to do it all in that font when I decided it was too big. So I was going to need to put some other kind of font in the middle. And mini markets or small letter stickers are what I'm going to do. And I did remember that I had a wood mini market alpha. So that's the October afternoon mini market alpha in Front Porch is the name of it. So that's going to work really well. So back to that kind of turquoisey blue. It doesn't appear in that exact color, but I do have quite a bit of turquoise in the tree paper on the bottom, and then in the background of the floral paper, they're just all different shades of it. So that's why that particular, or at least in my opinion, that's why that particular alpha works on here. It's being brought together because it's a different shade, and the color does actually appear in the photograph, although the yoga mats and that kind of stuff are not exactly something I want to highlight. I did want to highlight my yoga mat because it's so different though than any other mat, and it draws your eye right into the photo because it's so bright. So that's why the pink in this particular case works really well. So just some reasons for why I make the design decisions that I do. As I said, as this is coming together, if you looked at those three papers together separately before they were on this layout, you would go, what is she thinking? Including the border strip, but they all work. So there is a detail shot and a couple of, or still shot and a couple of detail shots following. Hope you guys are all well, and I'll be back with another layout again soon. Bye.